Cambodia is blessed with some of the most fascinating temples ever made by humankind. A rich and successful empire flourished here between the 802 and 1431. Its capital, Angkor, was dotted by amazing temples of incredible sizes and artistic and architectural complexity. It took us 3 days to visit the most important 10 temples in this incredible site, so follow us in the discovery of this astonishing place.
Morning, third day of visit to the temples. Today the first temple we're going to visit today is the Pentecate. Still under Jayavarman VII, late 12th centuries, and this temple is known as the Citadel of Cells. Let's go explore it. You see how curious it is? There are 2 dancing apsaras here. Sadly, in the other temple there were just 1. This temple was made still in the Bayon style, so similar to Taprom and the whole Angkor tomb, but in a bit of a simpler style. It was a minor temples, even if you have to call it a minor temple. It is an amazing structure. Indeed, it was built with sandstone of lower quality, and that's why it's a bit more in ruins than the others. So it was a Buddha which was systematically destroyed. Another example, even clearer. It's here. See? Fun. These amazing bas reliefs actually made me remember that in this temple the curious thing is that they found a big pit where 274 statues of Buddhas have been found. Most of them were Buddha sitting under the Naga snake, and which now are have been moved to a museum. But 274 statues, lot. The temple of Prerup, which is different from the others architecturally, as you will see. Indeed, wasn't built by the good old Jayavarman VII. It was built by Raja Varmana Stan, something like that, in the late 10th century, so almost 200 years. Then the Bayon temple, and some 100 years before the famous Angkor Wat. It's made with perishable sandstone. That's why carved details are not as well preserved as in many other temples. But still, in a matter of size, it's still astonishing, and it's definitely worth a visit. The perishable stone is a grey sandstone. And unlike the pink sandstone that we saw in the previous temple, this is far more perishable. And so, as you can see, not much is left, especially in terms of details that have been eroded by the weather, rain, etc. But still, it's remarkable. This massive temple was born as a Hindu temple. Just in modern era it became a Buddhist one, but mostly was dedicated to the god Shiva. Next temple is going to be built by his son, Jayavarman V. Okay, and it's going to be pretty different. So let's go visit also the next one. Now, Jayavarman V was just 10 years old when he succeeded his father, right? And when he was 17 years old, he started the construction of this temple. But unfortunately, this temple is not finished; it's not completed yet. There's a legend behind it. I'll tell you in a second.
One of the tallest monuments of Angkor, the Takeo, is a mountain temple built by Jayavarman V, found a little east to the Angkor tomb. Its 5 sanctuaries are placed on top of a 22 meters high 5-step pyramid, from where there are good views of the surrounding area. The reason why work stopped is not known. An inscription says that a lightning struck the temple at one point, which was taken as a sign of bad luck, upon which work was halted. More likely it's because of the death of the King Jayavarman V, who commissioned the temple.
So after a steep staircase, we managed to reach the top of this high temple, and we are rewarded with a beautiful view over the forest, the jungle, if you want to, around us. 1,000 of years ago, all around us, there would be one of the most populous cities in the world. Okay, so we visited this pretty impressive temple, still, although not one of the most famous. Actually, it's one of the less touristic temples, and but still remarkable. Indeed, we are just almost the only tourists to visit this. And then let's going to see the next temple, the last one today, which is going to be in the Angkor tomb, in the ancient city built by Jayavarman VII. Brahmakeng, one of the most interesting temples around, maybe one of the most important. Older, 200 years older than the famous Angkor Wat, dedicated to Shiva, built in the latter 9th century AD, as a strong symbolism, as this was the center of the previous capital. And all around this temple there were 108 little towers, small towers all around. Most of them are now gone. But symbolically this is related with the lunar cycle. So symmetrical, this temple, that you can see just 33 of these small towers. 33 like the numbers of the Indian gods that lives in the heaven. And indeed, there's 6 levels of these temples, represent the 6 levels of heaven in the Hindu mythology. At the beginning was an Hindu temple, of course, but then during the 15th and 16th century it was transformed in a Buddhist shrine, a Buddhist temple, and that's why we can see a Buddha footprint. Probably once on top of the temple there was a huge Buddha statue that was removed in 1920 by the French archaeologists, which were willing to give the original shape of the temple. And supposedly on the western side of the temple there's a lying Buddha. So here we are, eventually at the end of the day, and as the day comes to an end also, our visit to this astonishing place is almost finished, unfortunately. But I want to conclude our visit with this amazing view over a barai. Behind me, my back, far away maybe, there's a barai. It's not a lake, don't get confused. A barai is a man-made water basin, huge rectangular water basin, which was dug some 1,000 of years ago by thousands of people which obviously didn't have mechanic tools, and they so dig this huge water basin by hand. Imagine the effort that they put in this. And I don't want to use the beret as a symbol of the success of the Khmer Empire. That's because it's through the berets, through the ability of the engineer, of the Khmer engineer, to use wisely the water, that the Khmer Empire managed to have its well-known success. It's thanks to this wise use of the water that managed to fulfill the needs of hundreds of thousands of people that were living in this area. And also, this can be the symbol of the power that the Khmer kings impose all over Southeast Asia. Yes, I just find it amazing.